Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Texans interview Marvin Lewis for head coaching job. The Houston Texans have interviewed former Cincinnati Bengals head coach Marvin Lewis for their head coaching vacancy. The team announced Wednesday evening the Texans have been competing under interim head coach, Romeo Crennel since week 5. As former head coach Bill O'Brien was fired after an 0-4 start, Lewis was at the helm in Cincinnati from 03 to 2018, posting a 131 to 122-3 regular season record. He led the team to 4 division titles and 7 playoff appearances during that span, but he has yet to win a playoff game. The 62-year-old has spent the last 2 seasons as the co-defensive coordinator on Herm Edwards' staff at Arizona State. Texans color analyst Andre Ware recently suggested on Sports Radio 610 that Houston should consider hiring Lewis to be their next coach. I think it's someone that has done more with less, Ware said on In the Loop. When you know the situation you're going to get yourself into as the head coach of this team, knowing that you're not going to have draft picks for next year, and there are some constraints on salaries and things of that sort, and you're used to doing that. I could not have been more impressed with an individual. You think about Cincinnati and the ownership there, they don't spend a lot of money. They try to do it on the cheap, and it's been that way for years. But Marvin won a lot there, so I'm thinking about this as I'm processing this whole coaching search for the Texans. That's a name that should be on the list because he's done more with less and he's won over a period of time. So, are we buying it? Should Marvin Lewis be interviewed for the Texans job? I'm trying to figure out why Raheem Morris isn't getting looked at. Not to take nothing from Marvin Lewis, it's just that Raheem Morris is a guy who was coaching in Tampa who basically got the axe for that bum coach Greg Schiano, who proved to be a bum and got a reputation for still trying to go hard when the game's over. He's still trying to hit people when they're kneeling the ball. He got guys trying to still go full speed while they're kneeling the ball. It's like, are you serious? So to me, I don't have a problem with this going after him. But I think Raheem Morris should get looked at. Marvin Lewis is, to me, he's more of a defensive coordinator. Now, I give him this. He didn't really have a great quarterback. When he had Palmer, remember, Palmer got hurt in that playoff game, and Palmer never was the same. And then they got Andy Dalton, which Andy Dalton wasn't that good. He just wasn't. You know, Dalton is an average or decent QB. He's not, to me, a franchise quarterback. He's just not. He's never been, and I just don't see it. But if you do bring in Marvin Lewis, that defense, for one, is going to be better. That defense is going to be a lot better. I give you that. Their defense will be a lot better. And offensively, depending on who he brings in as a staff, you know, they could be fine. You got Deshaun Watson. To me, I don't care, you know, what these other quarterbacks are doing. Deshaun Watson is the best quarterback in the league. Hands down. He is. He's the best quarterback in the league. And if you give him the right tools and you give him the right players, he'll be effective and he'll do his job. These past games, they've really been very how do I say it? They've been very They've been very competitive. They've been wanting to win. They nip and tuck at everything, which is a great thing to have. But the thing is, if you do get Marvin Lewis, are you going to run that 34 defense? And if you are, you got to get your personnel in there. And I think Marvin Lewis would be, a great hire for them. But I would just want to see Raheem Morris get another shot. Because he did pretty good his first year in Tampa, and in the year after, he was pretty good. They just struggled because they had injuries. Yeah, I know that's not an excuse, but hey, they had injuries, and the talent level he had just wasn't, to me, it wasn't that good. So we'll see, man. But to me, either or, I would give him a shot. But Marvin Lewis, that was a good pickup, man. They didn't pick him up yet, but that's a good thing to interview him. I would think about getting him though. That would be cool to do. That would be a real good thing to do, and then I think he could turn that team around in a year. But I would try to give Raheem Morris a shot. The Texans, their defense, they got some people there like Littleton and a couple other people. J.J. Watt is there, but J.J. Watt, I think, might be asking for a trade to get up out of there. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I think he might want to get up out of there. And, I don't blame him. I do not blame him at all. Because he wants to win right now, and he sees his brother TJ having a lot of success in Pittsburgh. It's good. But to me, what messed them up was when they traded Jadeveon Clowney. They didn't get a first pick for him, and then they traded they traded offensive tackle then, and I think they ain't trade him really. I think they traded for a third pick or a second pick, and then they traded Jadeveon for a second pick. At that time, Jadeveon was worth at least the first or two of them. And then you got them trading away DeAndre Hopkins. That was the last straw. That's when I knew. And then Bill O'Brien tried to make up that DeAndre Hopkins was going to threaten his life when DeAndre Hopkins doesn't even have that type of demeanor. And he don't even come off like that. So let me know in the comment section if you're a Texans fan or you just love football. Let me know what you think. Should Marvin Lewis be able to be interviewed for the job, and do you think he should get hired for it, or do you think there should be another candidate? Let me know. I felt Eric Bieniemy would be a good pick there, but I believe Eric Bieniemy is probably going to go somewhere else, but I think he ought to get looked at for the job as well. I think he could do some things with that team, but they would have to give him a deal. That's all I'm saying. I would give him a shot. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you want to donate to the page, cash at me at the word welcome, the number 2, and an HDIITV. Thank you for listening. We're out. Live boy.